Hello, Church Anywhere family. My name is Lora Hayes, and I was asked to just shoot a real quick video here for you. I am a mother and a nana and a teacher. And so I have some experience with helping kids who are having some anxiety. When my kids were little, they're all adults now, but when they were little, I would read them books and talk to them about, of course, God and how God can calm our fears. But some of their favorite books were not about God, and we would just, pull out one, and of course, everything can be drawn back to God. And so one of my daughter Katie's favorite books was Who's the Beast? This book is about a tiger who is the beast, but he doesn't realize he's the beast, and all the other animals are afraid of him, and he is afraid of the beast as well, until he figures out that he's actually the one that they're afraid of. And so he goes through then and talks about how he has a tail just like the monkey, and he has stripes just like the bee, and he has whiskers just like the catfish, and so on. And it takes the fear out of the tiger and out of the other animals. And then so then we can take that and talk to our kids about God and how God calms our fears, and praying, and just really focusing on that peace and comfort that God can give, and helping kids in that way. Recently, I had my grandkids over, and it was getting ready to storm, and there was a lot of thunder. And it started out off with my granddaughter Lila. It thundered really loud, and she screamed, and she was afraid of the thunder. And so then her little brother Milo, every time it would thunder, he would scream too, and they were both afraid. And so one of the things that we did was we got a nice, cozy little blanket, and this one is one of those velour blankets, and the kids really like it because it's soft and cuddly. And so, we wrapped up in it, and kind of got snuggled in on the couch. And then I have this book that I've just recently got, and it's so good. It's called The Invisible Strength. And so what this book is about is very much the same. There's a brother and a sister, and they are afraid of the storm that's outside. And their mom draws them in and teaches them about the invisible string. And the invisible string is love. And as long as you know about the invisible string and that you are loved, then you can be anywhere in the world. It doesn't matter where you are. As long as you know you're loved, then you can find comfort in that, and that you're never alone because of the invisible strength. And so that's a really good book. So finding good books that can help your kids deal with their anxiety and fears is a good thing to do. As far as if your kids are going back to school and they're afraid of going back to school, they've got some anxiety about going back to school. Some of the things that we do, that I like to do, is to help them understand that it's okay to have those big feelings, and what you can do, some of the things that you can do to help you with those big feelings. One of the things is just to name the big feeling, and then to find ways to calm yourself. And so some of the ways that we would do that, something squishy, again, that blanket. They can't take blankets to school, but they can have something squishy and soft to squeeze, and that can certainly help. And then, some of the kids like fidgets. I don't really care for those, but because they make a lot of noise, but and they can distract other people. But I like the squishy, soft, quiet things, and that would even be like, even like silly putty or Play-Doh or something like that they can squish And it really does relieve stress. I find myself sometimes squishing a squishy, soft thing at school or at home if I'm anxious, and that certainly can help. But the biggest thing is to pray with your kids and to teach them that God is the God of all comfort, and that even when we hear thunder, or if some other kind of thing is making us afraid or anxious, just knowing that God is in control of all things is certainly a good place to start and to continue that with your child. So I hope this was helpful, and take care, stay healthy. Bye.
Mrs. Pinnick, Evalina Pinnick, and I am a teacher. I teach second grade at North Harrison Elementary School. I've been teaching for over 30 years. Oh, makes me sound really old. I'm also a mom and a grandma, and I'm going to be honest with you. I am a lot anxious about heading back to school, because things are going to be so different this year. In all the years I've taught, I've never had anything in a year like this, or even dreamed of anything like this. And so I know that if I'm feeling this way as a teacher and as a mom and as a grandma, there are lots of other people feeling that way as well. And I especially have a heart for our children. So I wanted to give you some ideas or some suggestions maybe that would help you with your child, so that maybe you can calm their fears a little bit and their anxieties. The first suggestion that I have for you is just to talk with your child. Many times we talk in front of our children, or talk to others and they overhear, but we don't really talk to them and at a level that they can understand. And also our body language, they pick up on that too. They know when something's wrong. So I just encourage you just to sit down and at an age-appropriate level, just talk to them about what's going on, and listen to what they have to say, what frightens them, or how they perceive things, because oftentimes their perception is very different than ours. Another thing is to get them used to masks. I was trying to be silly at the beginning with this, but if you know that your child is going to be required to wear masks or be in a situation where they have to have those, make it as fun as possible. Let them pick out a mask. Let them decorate a shield. And then practice around your house, letting your child wear a mask, but also you wearing it too. Just to make it something that is not so foreign, not so different, something that is more familiar for them. If it's familiar at home and before school, then it will become a lot less of a problem for them when they have to wear those at certain times at school. Another thing is to work as a team with your school, especially your child's teacher. I know where I work, and I think this is true across the board. When a person becomes a teacher, they have to have a love for a child. And I know where I work, we love your children. And the more you can help us and your child, our students can see us as a team, I think the more secure they're going to feel. Another suggestion that I have for you is to reassure them with some sort of a motto, something that is familiar, maybe a family, sit down together and come up with a family motto, something like, I am safe, I am special, I am loved. And so when they start to feel ungrounded or scared, insecure, if they can remind themselves, I am special, I am loved, I am safe, and they can repeat that, then that can kind of ground them, that can kind of calm them down. Another thing is I think they need to know that the adults around them have their back. We're there for them. Many times at the beginning of the school year, when we have our tornado drills and our fire drills and our lockdown drills, stranger danger, the kids will ask, well, what if this? What if that? What if this? And the thing that seems to calm them the most, and it's so funny because it sticks with them. I've had them come back and call me Mama Bear, because I'll tell them, guys, before anybody gets to you, they're going to have to go through me. And I will do anything and everything I can to keep that from happening, because I love you and I'm going to do my best to take care of you. So you just do what I tell you to do and let me worry about the rest. And they find a lot of security in that. Another thing that I think is really helpful is a journal. And sometimes kids just really don't like to write. They can draw in it even. But this really works well for some kids. It's soothing, it's calming, especially if they're drawing or coloring. They can draw or color or write about the things that are bothering them, about their feelings, or they can just even write a story that kind of gets their mind off of the things that they're dealing with right now. And so that can be a really good thing. And then, they can share that with you, or you can use that as a springboard maybe to talk about some of those things. A big thing that I think is important is humor. And that's what I was kind of trying to do when we started this, just to be silly. Kids love silliness. They love play. They need that. That's within them. So as much as you can have fun with your children, as much as you can joke about things, but the most important thing that I encourage you to do is to pray. Pray for your child, definitely, but also pray with your child. And let them see that that is where your strength and your power and your peace comes from. And let them start that at whatever age they are, and knowing that real peace in a troubled world comes only from Jesus. And kind of along those lines also, bring out heroes from the Bible. This is a great example of tying things into God's Word. There are countless heroes, Bible heroes, that you can talk about who were afraid. And they faced their fears and their anxieties because they knew that God was with them. So I'm real big in making things a teachable moment. So if you can pull in God's Word and use that to teach and to speak to the heart of your child and to give them some reassurance, that's really the best thing that you can do. And so I hope that some of these suggestions will be helpful. And we are going to get through this. It's a crazy time. It's like no other, but there's security in knowing that Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And so when all other ground is shaking around us, He is our solid rock. I hope that this has been helpful for you. Thanks for listening.